Pick up 1 or 2 clear plastic bowls from Dollar Tree. Use a Sharpie to trace the outline. Take a wood-burning tool to create a hole in the bottom of the bowl. Take a light kit from Amazon and thread the socket through the hole and add a light bulb. A cheap way to create your own DIY pendant lights.
It's going to require 3 of these large dinner plates and then 3 of these little salad plates. Once you kind of find the design style that you like, grab a dollop of hot glue. I'm going to apply a generous amount. Then we can just secure our plate, apply some hot glue, and secure it there. But now we'll take our third salad plate, create about a 4-inch loop, fold our ribbon over, pinch in the middle. We're just going to snip off our ribbon. So apply a generous amount and place our bow right on top of our plates. And this is kind of like silver dollar eucalyptus. Place it inside our bow. And it does create kind of an unusual wreath frame.
You want to pick up 2 bowls, and I'm going to give them a coat of spray paint. I'm just going to use some really strong glue. I am going to add 3 wicks. Then I'm going to grab 2 wooden skewers, Dollar Tree tall pillar candles. Pour the wax from all the candles into a metal container. I'm opting to add a little essential oil, and now we're just going to pour that melted wax. You can trim the wicks down and use your candle. I hope this inspired you to grab a ceramic salad bowl.
Head to your local dollar store and pick up a clear plastic bowl, a metal flower vase, a floral foam square, and some faux flowers. Pull a wood candle lid from a used candle and remove the rubber ring. Spray paint this candle lid, the clear plastic bowl, and the metal flower vase. Use a strong adhesive and glue the candle lid to the bottom of the painted metal vase. Glue the painted bowl to the top of the candle lid. Give the entire footed pedestal bowl a light coat of white spray paint. Put some hot glue on the 4 corners of the square florist foam and glue it to the bottom of the bowl. Take pieces of faux greenery and stick them in and around the base. Next, take some bunches of faux flowers, stick the separated flowers into the florist foam. If you have any bare spots showing, fill those areas with a little green moss. Place the pedestal floral arrangement on a dollar store charger plate and surround it with green moss. I hope this inspired you to create a beautiful floral pedestal centerpiece for under $10.
You're going to need some dollar store solar lights. Flip the bowl upside down, and we need to remove the label. Next, I'm going to focus on the solar light. So we just take the stem off. We're not even going to need that. You need to open up the solar light and pull out the tag so that the solar light works. Then you can place that back on, and this part is ready to be used. This will be the base of our project. What I'll be using for this project for weight are these dollar store rocks. So I'm going to be placing them inside. For the next step, I'm going to place the solar light in top like this. I'll go ahead and add a few more rocks to this. So what I'm going to do is add a little dab of hot glue on each corner, like so. I'm going to take that bowl and flip it upside down and place it right there on top so it's centered. So just to show you, if I remove this out, you can see here, I would be able to pull this off and replace this easily with another dollar store solar light if this burns out at some point. Here they are in my dish flower garden, and I'm thrilled with how they turned out.
So we're going to start this project with a platter from Dollar Tree. We're going to be using the bath. So I'm first going to start by putting the E6000. What we're going to do though is we're going to take the beads and we're just going to place them right next to one another. All right, so now that we are finished with the gluing portion, what we're going to do next is we're going to be taking Rust-Oleum chalked paint, paint this whole surface. So we are going to be taking a printable that I've created, and then we're going to basically be kind of cutting the edges off. And then from there, we are going to take, I have glue, I have tacky glue, but you can also use Mod Podge. I'm going to start by lightly brushing it on the tray. You want to make sure that you're like evenly dispersing this. So we are going to place it over it with our glue. We're going to take an 18-inch wreath frame. We're going to take the loop under. We're going to pull it through that you're going to see a knot on the top. I'm going to be taking a ruler. We're going to go across. All right, so we're just going to keep going all the way up. I'm going to make sure it's centered. I'm going to use my hot glue, basically just to kind of cover that gap. And here's the after of my Dollar Tree plate DIY boho wreath.
Saw some candles from Pottery Barn. I thought it'd be fun to try making them myself. I'm going to put a little glue into a small container and then add a bit of paint. Now that I have the glue tinted, I'm going to paint it all over the glass dish on the outside. I'm going to leave these for a few hours before moving on. Using some Mod Podge, I'm going to paint it around the dishes. I can sprinkle the white glitter all over it, and then when it dries, the glitter will stay in place. I grabbed these pillar candles from the dollar store, and I'm going to melt them down. I'm just going to use a couple of skewers to hold the wicks in place. I want to add some essential oil to give my candles a beautiful scent. It's time to fill the glass dishes. The final thing to do is to remove the skewers and then trim the wicks. How pretty are these Pottery Barn inspired candles? They even smell as good as they look.
First step is you're going to want to drill a hole for drainage, and I'm just going to drill straight into that hole in the middle. And then we're going to get our bigger bit, and I'm going to take a junk brush to bond with the bowl above it. I've got my first strand of beads. I'm just going to take these one line at a time and just snip off the extra beads. And I'm going to repeat this process. I've got the stone texture applied. Now it's time to go in with my black spray paint. And here's a closer look at my DIY beaded flower pot.
Start to paint your pots and saucers with a matte finish paint or chalk paint. Take a paper napkin and separate the 2-ply layers. Draw a circle and cut it out with scissors. Take the saucer and brush the decoupage glue so the bottom and sides of the saucer are covered. Place the paper napkin circle and press down in the center and smooth the napkin out. Dip a small paintbrush in water and brush along the top of the saucer. Add a final layer of decoupage glue. Take a strong adhesive glue and place a ring of glue. Place the saucer on top of the bottom of the pot. You now have a beautiful clay pot candle holder.
I grabbed some china plates from the thrift store for this really easy garden project. Okay, this was the really fun part. I smashed the plates on a rock and then I set them all aside. Next, I mixed ready-mix concrete with water. For specific measurements and safety precautions, follow the instructions on the bag. I placed a 2-inch piece of cardboard tube on top of scrap wood to use as my mold, and then I put the first layer of concrete inside. I used a scrap 2x4 to tamper it down and added 3 small pieces of wire mesh. The wire mesh will add a lot of strength to this. I put another layer of concrete on, used the wood to tamper, and trowel to smooth it out. Once it was smooth and level, I placed the broken china on top. You can have a lot of fun with this part and do any sort of design. I used a scrap piece of wood again to tamper it down, making sure that the china was inset but not sunk in. Then I used a wet sponge to carefully remove the excess concrete. I wiped with the sponge a few times over the next couple of hours. After it dried for about 20 hours, I removed the cardboard around the outside and placed it in the garden for a beautiful stepping stone. I hope this inspired you to create your own thrifted china stepping stone.
Found these colorful bowls. You're going to turn it upside down. You're going to take that heat tool and just press down. And we're going to want to do that to a couple more of these. I'm just going to use this to trace. Start with one of the blue bowls and one of the clear ones. And I'm going to take some Gorilla Clear Grip. You're going to want to put this on and then let it sit. Make sure that you get this exactly right. One more blue bowl. Let that sit right there. You see how you can see the battery packs down at the base? I'm going to take some ivy. See how you can disguise that a little bit. Decided to add a few white poppies. And you can see how much light these will bring to a tabletop.